Welcome to the RV Podcast, episode 416.
And this week we talk about the growing popularity of fall camping. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm Mike Wendland, and this is my lifelong traveling companion and my bride Jennifer. And it is fall. That's what we're going to talk about. I think it's our favorite time of the year to camp.
I enjoy fall camping. It's not too hot. You don't have the bugs. To me, it's perfect.
Crisp mornings, cool nights, nice warm days, and when the sun shines and the leaves are turning, it's pretty hard to beat. We're going to have, in our interview section, an interview with some folks who've really done a lot to make fall camping one of the most popular times these days for all RVers. I think you'll enjoy that and maybe get some ideas and some things that you can do before it gets too cold to get out there and camp like you'd like to. Let's see, we got a big giveaway to announce. We got a new giveaway.
We certainly do. A bike rack for e-bikes.
Yes, this is... we just put it on our RV. We just installed it last week on our motorhome. In fact, we'll have a video on Saturday on our YouTube channel. But this is known as the RV Rider. It's from Hollywood Racks, and it's made especially for e-bikes. We're giving away one of these racks. It's worth $600. So we'll give you a chance to enter it. The address it's free to enter. It will put just a random drawing. You can enter as many times as you want, but it's just go to rvlifestyle.com/sweepstakes. We'll announce the winner in a couple of weeks, but this is great. Each of these, this rack holds 2 e-bikes, each of which can weigh up to 80 pounds each. So it's sturdy. It's really well made. It's the finest e-bike rack we have seen for RVers, called the RV Rider. So check that out. And it's time to announce the date for our winter campout gathering, which we do every year. This will be the 10th year in a row.
All right, so it's going to start the first weekend in January. It starts on Thursday.
The first full weekend, yep.
January 5th through Sunday, January 8th.
And where is it, you ask?
Tahquamenon Falls in Michigan.
The Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
And we do this every year, and we all have fun up there running around playing in the snow.
That's just what we do. And it's people, it's funny, when we talk about this, we get like 2 reactions. We get people who say, no way, not for me. And others say, I've always wondered about it. Well, this is for all those who've always wondered about it. It's really fun. We have been doing this 10 years, and they usually all fill up. We take all the spots at the Tahquamenon Falls State Park. This is unlike our other gatherings. You reserve your own spot with the Department of Natural Resources. And if you go to our RV Lifestyle Facebook group, you all should be a member of that. You can find the details there. But if you wonder what the dates are, January
5th through the 8th. And you have electricity, so it's not like primitive camping. So it is warm, and the DNR plows out the sites. They know we're coming. They put your name on the site. They plow it out. They're ready.
Yeah, did you say it's warm? It's not warm.
Well, it's warm.
It's warm in your RV because you plug in the electricity.
You plug in the electricity and you're toasty. It's not like you have to pitch a tent out in the cold weather.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody thinks, because it really is warm and toasty. Mm-hmm. And the only difference between winter camping and summer camping is you wear a lot more clothes in the winter when you go outside.
Yep.
So go to our RV Lifestyle our RV Lifestyle blog, and you can just search winter camping. You'll see we've got pictures and stories and videos from our previous escapades up there in the snow.
And it's just very relaxed and casual. Gather around a campfire, do whatever you'd like, a few suggestions of things to see if you've never been up there before. And we all eat together, a potluck on Thursday night, and Friday and Saturday we go to a local restaurant. And
Dutch Street, everybody on their own.
Everybody's on their own.
Yep. Anyway, it's fun, and we won't talk about it anymore because we know those people who shiver when you hear winter. They don't like it. But for those adventurous ones out there, There's usually a couple feet of snow on the ground, but you know it's
you never
it's
know.
really fun. Yeah,
There's
sometimes
be
it's
snow.
Sometimes it's only been a couple inches, but usually it's pretty
What
good.
I like is it's so relaxed because you make your own reservation, and if something comes up, if it falls through, you get a credit from the
I think it's
DNR.
like $30 a night. That's
Yeah.
what they charge you. All right, that's our winter camp out. Now, we've got lots of RV news this week. And, of course, one story is dominating everything, and that's, of course, Hurricane Ian and its his aftermath.
Oh, that's so sad. As we record this, we're hearing story after story of the devastation Hurricane Ian brought to Florida and then the Carolinas. And it's blamed for, so far, 87 deaths. And it still is climbing. And especially hard hit was the Fort Myers area, where we saw several stories where they were interviewing RV owners, some of whom they didn't leave, they didn't evacuate when they were told to, and they lived through the storm. And many RVs were totally destroyed. The RV parks, the bridges, concrete homes, businesses, and more were completely wiped out by the storm in the Fort Myers area.
And on our RV Lifestyle Facebook group, we have seen lots of posts and pictures from RVers who were down there, who evacuated. Many were able to follow the evacuation orders. They hooked up their RVs and they got out of the area. But a lot of others had RVs that were kind of permanently in some of the RV parks. And the sad thing was they couldn't get them out. We heard one story about some people that from Michigan that had a place down there, and they had restored an RV. They bought a fifth wheel, restored it, and they kept it there year-round and spent the winters there. And they were watching the storm coverage, and they actually saw their RV being swept away. It's just horrible. And then the storm, went across the state, and it caused flooding and damaged a lot of other RV parks throughout the central part of Florida, which is very popular, and then went to the Carolinas.
Yeah, fortunately it wasn't as severe in the Carolinas, but it still did enough damage to be remembered.
A number of parks there closed as well. So it's just terrible, and our hearts go to the folks still trying to clean up that mess. The death toll still expected to rise, but wow, that hurricane was horrible.
And you don't know what the situation's going to be in that area for people that winter down there, because the people that own parks, or even if whatever they have down there, they have to assess the electrical problems, the water,
sewage,
power, everything to see when they can open.
We have a question kind of about that we'll answer later in the program on the question and answer time.
It's just so sad, all that loss of lives and possessions. Yeah. But the lives, it's incredible.
Yeah. Another story out of Idaho that's getting a lot of attention in the RV community. Idaho officials are blaming a camper whose unattended campfire led to the largest wildfire this year in the state of Idaho. In fact, they're still fighting it. They expect this thing, it's on state, federal, and privately owned land, been 200 square miles. They're still fighting, expected to get it controlled this week as this episode is being released.
An incredible amount of firefighters, aren't there? Like 500 plus firefighters?
Well, the sad thing is 3 firefighters died fighting this. And so officials have determined that this was caused by somebody who was boondocking on public land, and they left their campfire unattended. East central Idaho, near the town of Salmo, and officials are asking anybody in the public that was there that maybe saw people camping in that area to give them a description. They're trying to find that camper, an unattended campfire. There's no excuse for that.
No excuse, none whatsoever for that.
These firefighters are just amazing how they take care of us and risk their lives. 3 of them died fighting that fire. So let's hope they catch that person. And one more story.
Now something positive. Good news for all the travelers that want to squeeze in one more camping trip, and they want to go to Canada. before the cold weather settles in. The Canadian government dropped all of its COVID requirements for visitors beginning October 1st. So that means visitors no longer have to be vaccinated, fill out the Canadian app proving proof of being vaccinated and a negative test, quarantine, wear a mask, and do any of the other things that Canada once required. And it's said that the strict requirements were blamed for a sharp reduction in American tourism this year. And that reduction particularly hurt many of the border communities, particularly tourist dollars near Niagara Falls.
You know, personally, we kind of welcome this news. We have heard of many RVers who skipped trips to Canada this year because they were not vaccinated, or they didn't want to deal with COVID testing, or a fear of being quarantined while they're on vacation. So while COVID's still out there, and I think it's going to probably be with us forever, at least all those restrictions in Canada have now been lifted. And it's probably a little late this year. Not a lot of RV tourism. Although one of our favorite parks is open in the winter, the Algonquin Provincial Park, about 3 hours north of Toronto. Oh my gosh, is that a great park? And that's open in the winter. So anyway, hopefully we'll see some more Americans getting back to Canada and help the economy. And of course, you Canadians have been coming back here for several months now, and we're glad to have you back in the U.S. as we put that COVID debacle behind us, I hope. Terrible times, those 2 years that we lost to COVID. All right, when we come back, we are going to talk about why fall has become such a popular time for camping. And we'll have a great interview I think you'll want to listen to and get some ideas yourself for what you can do before it gets too cold to camp. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Tired of overcrowded campgrounds, competing for reservations, paying high fees for sites? Well, ownership is an emerging trend in RVing that might be right for you. It was for us. Jennifer and I bought some land just west of Nashville, Tennessee, in an incredible collection of mountaintop properties called the Woodlands at Buffalo River. These are 5 to 62-acre properties. Build a house, a cabin, outbuildings, or RV year-round, starting at $79,900. Your property, your way, 100% ownership, and the scenery is breathtaking. You can landscape, garden, bring your pets, build what you want to. There's high-speed internet, and it is so private. It's a great place to make your home base. No more calling around for reservations, ready whenever you want. They're selling these on October 8th by appointment, 5 to 62 acres from $79,900. Great financing and big discounts available on multi-lot packages. For information, visit myrvland.com. That's myrvland.com.
When we're on a road trip, we always seem to find a way to stop at a Camping World center. There are over 225 Camping World locations across the country, and there's always one close by when we need parts and accessories for our RV or just want to shop. In fact, we have so much fun with Camping World, and as we talk about it as one of our sponsors, they have agreed to offer a 10% discount if you use the coupon code RVLifestyle10 when you buy $99 or more in merchandise. You'll find everything you want, from outdoor furniture and appliances, the ones you see us use in our videos and we talk about here in the podcast. RV extras that include everything from camping chairs to fire pits, electrical accessories, must-have gadgets. Check them all out. And again, don't forget, use the coupon code RVLifestyle10 when you visit campingworld.com.
Welcome back, and now it's time for the interview of the week, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. We have noticed it as we have done fall camping. Everybody having fun. The last couple of weekends that a lot of the parks are open when they celebrate fall and Halloween, and they just get goofy.
Yeah, it started about a decade ago, I think, as we'll learn in this interview. And I remember it was really our first year of doing the RV lifestyle at the Kentucky Horse Park in Tennessee. Oh my gosh, they went all out. They still do with Halloween decorations. And now around the country, it's hard to get a weekend in any RV campground because they're doing boo bashes and Halloween funs and camping, fall themed camping outfits. So,
and now even Bo, we took him camping, and we're at a campground where they had some kind of scary big blow-ups up there. And
Oh, yeah.
he was barking his head off.
Yeah, he's kind of fun to scare both. Our guest this week is Marley Benke, and she is with Jellystone Park, Yogi Bear's Jellystone Parks.
And I love those parks.
Oh,
they
my
are fun.
gosh,
if you
fun.
haven't been to one, if you've got grandkids, kids, you got to go there. It's
Family-themed parks.
Yes.
And just fun is the operative word. And we got Marley to sit down with us and talk to us about this trend about fall camping and how popular it has become. And she gives us a few ideas of some of the things her parks are doing, and maybe you can find the same near you. Well, let's check in with Marley Benke from our friends at Camp Jellystone, which has become near and dear to us as we have enjoyed it so much with our kids and our grandkids. And this is a very special time. Marley, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate it.
So I think the first thing I'd like to ask you is, when did this Halloween camping become so popular?
Yeah, Halloween has really kicked off, I'd say probably in the realm of about a decade ago, right? 10 years ago, really, the Halloween activities and fall weekends, that was kind of the big push. And it has just flown by and really built up ever since then. It's been very exciting to watch that grow and evolve over the years.
Of course, that was about the time that the whole RV camping boom coming out of the last recession was a breath of fresh air came in and everybody discovered it. But oh my goodness, it has turned into, someone told me, one of the more popular times of year to camp. Are you guys seeing that at Camp Jellystone?
Absolutely. It's very interesting because as Halloween weekends have evolved over the years, we are now seeing Halloween weekends be just as full in our campgrounds as holiday weekends are. Really, truly full jam-packed weekends. And our guests really look forward to it. And it's great because it brings families back together to really do all of the activities together. When we're going through the summer and there's so many different things like the water attractions, once those are closed, this is kind of the time that brings the families back together instead of mom sending, the older kids over to the water slides and dad taking the little kids. And grandparents come out too. So really, it truly is a family event during these fall weekends.
So what are some of the special activities that you have planned?
Oh my goodness. Every park has so many. Some of my favorites are like the magic pumpkin patches that we do. We do scarecrow contests where, parks are given sites, the tools to make a scarecrow. And then what happens over these weekends is they've built up all of these scarecrows, from one weekend to the next. So by the last weekend, you have, tons of scarecrows that are already decorating the park. We have costume contests to trick-or-treating, which is huge in all of our parks. We've got apple cannons and candy cannons. Haunted trails and haunted hay rides. So really a plethora of different activities each and every weekend. It's
one of the things that I have really found the most fun is how everyone has gotten into the spirit of decorating their campers and their RVs. I mean, yes. Not just scary. I mean, it's more than even a neighborhood. It's just they're over the top. Do you have contests like that? Some of your parks, I think they encourage that.
Oh, yes. All the parks encourage it. And it's really great because now as the years continue, everybody kind of wants to one up each other. So now you're seeing sites creating their own little haunted trails on their small sites and, different kind of activities with blow ups and scarecrows and zombies. And it's just really, really neat to watch this grow each and every year. It's very exciting.
Now, can you think of anything that just was way over the top? Some park that just really took it to another level?
Gosh, there really isn't one that I would pinpoint because truly all of the parks in our system really go all out on these Halloween weekends. I mean, and it just builds, right? The first weekend, they might kind of start off soft with some of the more fall and harvest style activities where it's, apple schmear and bobbing for apples to then really diving into all of the Halloween fun. So it's neat to kind of watch the weekends really roll into each other, and they just continue to grow each weekend. It's really a sight to see.
Now, as we have been traveling this fall during the month of September and now into October, it seems that just like Christmas comes earlier, Halloween is coming earlier, and we've seen RVs decorated like right from Labor Day on. Is that what you're seeing in your 83 Camp Jellystone parks?
Yeah, I mean, right after Labor Day is done, everybody is kind of getting into full-on Halloween mode. And, we're talking when parks used to, initially start with Halloween weekends, it was maybe 1 or 2. And we're seeing some parks have 6, 7, 8, 9 Halloween weekends because they're just that popular. And again, it's bringing all of the families together. It's getting the grandparents involved, moms and dads, uncles, aunts, and even the pets. That has been really fun to see. People are doing the pet costume contests. So it just grows and grows every year.
And does Yogi Bear and Boo Boo, do they dress up for Halloween?
Absolutely. Yeah. They will, we have a park in South Haven, Michigan. Yogi will dress up in his vampire attire, and Boo Boo will have his little pumpkin costume on, and they go out and trick or treat. And they'll end with like a Monster Mash dance party that is just phenomenal. It's great. It's wonderful to see everybody out there enjoying it.
Besides just the general spirit of the season, why do you think this has culturally become such a thing with the RV lifestyle, the Halloween themed September, October campouts?
I think this is just part of, as Jellystones, we're very much resort style, and we are so much in this entertainment industry that we're able to provide that to our guests, but also it's getting back more into that, family feel of just camping, right? So it's now kind of putting all of the fun water toys away and really truly just getting back into the camping in the fall and the fun of it. And we're still able to provide all of the experiences and activities. So it's kind of that perfect mix together.
And I would bet too, it's kind of the end of the camping season in many of your states in the northern climes.
Yeah.
So there's probably some interest there. Let's go one last time and go out with the bang, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah. And some parks out there are doing these packages where, people can come and leave their units on site for all of the Halloween weekends. They can choose to stay 2 Halloween weekends in a row, or all 4 or 5 or 6 Halloween weekends. And it's very interesting because these people really want to do that. And there is no discounted for that time. They're paying full rates because it's just that much fun. They don't want to miss it. They don't want to miss something that might not have happened the weekend before.
It's not just people with kids and grandkids, is it? Because we enjoy it, just the two of us.
Yes, it's all ages. This truly is a season of all ages, and it is so great to watch each and every age range really truly just enjoy the fun of the Halloween and just getting into the overall feel. It's just, and fall is always great, right? Who doesn't love fall, so there's always the bonus there.
I know we're getting some people who are going to be listening and watching this podcast and say, all right, let's go do it. Is it too late? Can you, are most of these weekends sold out, or can you still get in during the week, and when do most of your parks close for the season? The ones that are seasonal?
Sure. I would say that there's probably some parks out there that might have some availability, but again, this really is turning into what holiday weekends look like, where these people are leaving, this season, and they're booking their next fall season. So I would say for, future, when you're looking into doing and testing out a Halloween weekend, to really book those in advance, just because they're just that full. Our parks typically, like in the Midwest, not the non-Southern parks, they tend to close right after Columbus Day. Typically around that October 15th time is generally the last time, so that they can, get the parks winterized and hopefully no pipes burst in the meantime. But yeah, that's typically when they close. And, these parks are still open during the weekdays, but really with kids and everybody back in school, the activities during the weekdays have lightened up a bit. So there isn't a whole lot going on typically during the weekdays, but man, when Friday hits, it is in full swing until Sunday checkout.
I think we should go, huh?
I think we should too. We got to put that on the calendar. I know every time that we have camped at one of your campgrounds, we have had a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And what was the last one you guys were at?
The last one was, I think, up at Silver Lake, Michigan, up on Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And speaking of fall, I remember very well that one of the neighboring campsites had a donut making machine. So that one immediately became my personal favorite.
Yes. And a lot of our parks are adding those things and have those and do donut activities. So yeah, I'm with you on the donuts.
Well, we're big fans of Camp Jellystone. And like I say, if we can't bring our grandkids, we'll dress our dog Bo up in a costume and we'll be there. And we've also visited that South Haven campground that you mentioned too, which are both on Michigan's, we call it the third coast, the Lake Michigan.
Yes.
So Marley, thank you for sharing some of the excitement about it. And are you going to dress up for Halloween yourself this year?
You know, I got to get out there with my kids and be something. I don't know what I'm going to be yet, but I have to. You know, we do it for the kids, right? Well, that's what we tell ourselves.
Right. Yeah. My grandkids are all starting to get too old. Half the fun for me was going trick-or-treating with them, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, you forgot, we've got two younger ones.
We got two younger ones.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can connect with them.
Yeah.
Hey, Marley, thanks for making time, and we'll check with you in the spring and learn some of the cool things that Camp Jellystone has planned for the next camping season. So
absolutely. Thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it. It's great to be here.
Thank you, and happy Halloween.
Same to you.
Well, it really makes me want to get out there and do some fall camping.
Yeah.
And we got to grab the grandkids and sneak away, huh?
We should.
Yeah, it is fun. Well, thanks, Marley from Jellystone Parks. And hope you guys got some ideas of things you can do. And get out there. Enjoy the fall. When we come back, questions of the week.
When we're asked what's the most important modification we made to our RV, it's an easy answer. Battle-Born batteries. Battle-Born batteries are quality, safe, reliable lithium batteries that allow us to stay out there off the grid longer. Lithium batteries charge faster, they charge fuller, they're longer lasting, they're maintenance free, and Battle-Born batteries are protected by a 10-year guarantee. Now, in our case, they just dropped into the existing AGM batteries that we have, and they'll probably be the same on your rig too. Battle-Born battery experts can get those in your rig just like they did with ours. They can also match you up with the right cabling, the inverter, the charger, the solar controller, everything. Jennifer and I swear by our Battle-Born batteries. They allow us to boondock off the grid. Check them out. Go to rvlifestyle.com/lithium. rvlifestyle.com/lithium.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It is time now for the RV Lifestyle Questions of the Week. And before we get started, we want to tell you that we welcome your questions and your comments. All you have to do is use our personal email. Send it to us at mikeandjen@rvlifestyle.com. We love getting your questions and comments, and we love to share them with the audience. So the first question this week is for you, Jennifer. It comes from someone named Ann, and she says, Jennifer, can you handle the fifth wheel duties with that new fifth wheel you and Mike have, setting up, hitching up, tank dump, unhooking by yourself?
I have never tried. If I had to, I could, but I have not had a desire to learn how to dump the tanks and all that sort of thing.
Well, we could change that. We could help you with that.
I found that in life, whatever I learned how to do, it then became my responsibility. So if I made myself scarce, I do help you, though. I do help.
Yeah.
I'm hands-on doing this. It's easier with two people to direct and put blocks and
you are
all the
great
things.
on setting up. You help me set up. It's a two-person team. We always believe because somebody's got to keep their eye open, and somebody's, it really is like the two of us. Hitching up, the same thing.
Yep.
Unhooking, you're right there when I do that as well.
I've gotten over having to do this when you hook up.
Yeah.
At least I've stopped doing that.
I was doing that too, and I was driving. But you really do help with all that stuff.
Oh, thank you.
But I have noticed that you do disappear when it's time to dump the tanks. Now, That's an important RV skill.
I know. I've been doing that for 11 years. Disappearing.
Yeah. I'm a little slow to notice that. But come to think of it, well, we can teach her. But it's a good question. And I think probably a lot of women wonder that. For us, it was a big change getting the fifth wheel.
Oh, huge change.
It's this big thing following you, like 5 feet behind you.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. If I had to, I could.
Yeah, I feel that you have jumped right in on the rest of it.
I just don't want to take away your fun because I know how much you enjoy hooking up and unhooking and leveling. I know how you look forward to that.
Actually, I don't mind that part, and I don't want to say I look forward to it. It scared me. It really did when we first got this thing back in April.
Scared you. It scared me, and I was just watching.
Well, because it was. We had hooked up bumper hitch trailers before, and I didn't like doing those. I think this is easier. It feels more secure to hook up a fifth wheel than a bumper hitch trailer, I think, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
think what bothers me is when it's kind of crooked and that tailgate is down on the truck.
Oh,
and you're backing in, then I kind of go, oh.
That's because you've read the stories where people are always dropping the thing on their tailgate, or they don't put it up, or they bump into their... And I would do that if you weren't back there sometimes watching, so... But I publicly thank you for the help that you give me, except for dumping the tanks. But I'll accept that. That's my job. All right. So, Ann, I hope that answered your question.
Okay, now I got a question from Cindy. Is it possible to find a winter campsite in Florida, the Tampa area, without booking a year in advance, especially in the wake of Hurricane Ian?
That was Bo that just walked.
Yeah, Bo just walked in, and he wants me to know that it is his dinner time.
And he was shaking his
collar. He shakes his head. He shakes his head in the morning to get us out of bed. He knows exactly when it's like a 6:45. And he follows me around and sticks like glue because he eats 3 times a day.
I interrupted. So her question about a winter campsite in Florida.
Yeah, the Tampa area without booking a year in advance, especially in wake of the hurricane. And is this winter a washout? Is it possible? Should they even try?
Just personally, you certainly try, but I think it's a washout, and I think. It doesn't hurt to give it a try, to look up some campgrounds. Many campgrounds are just not going to be open next year, if ever again. And when I say many, they're talking about a considerable number of them. That is one of the most popular areas of Florida. Those that survived and they can fix themselves up, many will have limited spaces, and they will go to their returning guests or those who had reservations. I mean, even before the hurricane, most of the choice spots were taken for the snowbird season. I would suggest that you look at another place, like maybe Arizona, which is a great snowbird place, a destination. Check out Arizona. Certainly, there are other parts of Florida, the Panhandle. It's a little cooler in the Panhandle.
Yeah, it's cooler. It gets cold, but we don't get snow.
However, I'm hearing that even those spots are starting to fill up more than normal because they fill up too, even though it's cold there. But many of the people who are displaced and can't get into their normal parks in the southern part, particularly along the Gulf Coast, between Fort Myers and Sarasota, many of them are coming up and filling the parks up in the Panhandle. So do some work, give them some grace. Those who were the regulars and that couldn't get in, it doesn't hurt to try, and you might be just fine. But I would urge you to look at Arizona. Think about Arizona, Texas. Yeah, Texas has lots of places too.
New Mexico, Arizona.
Yeah, New Mexico. Mexico can get kind of cool too. But this is going to be a tough year.
And let's just hope that those mom and pop RV parks can come back.
Oh, they were stressed as it was, and this is really a big hit for them. We won't have the full picture on Florida for a couple of weeks yet, but pray for those folks who've lost their businesses, their homes, and for the families of those who have had loved ones die from this storm. All right. On that note, we're going to end this podcast this week. We will be back next week with another one. Don't forget our Saturday videos, new videos every week on Saturday on our YouTube channel.
And register for that giveaway.
Oh, the giveaway. Yeah. One more time, I'll give it a plus. If you have an e-bike, this is the rack you want. It's the RV Rider. We'll have a video on it Saturday, and you can register for a free giveaway of one of those things at rvlifestyle.com/sweepstakes. And let me flip that around, give you our address one more time for your questions and comments. Mike and Jen at rvlifestyle.com. We're waiting to hear from you. Thanks for watching.
Happy trails.